All right, we are going to talk about Edgar Cayce's Lapis, Lapis Lazuli, Lapis Linguis, and Lapis Ligurius. And I'm hoping I'm pronouncing those right. If you're watching this video, I assume you have already done your research into the Cayce readings and you are merely trying to identify which stone is which. I will not elaborate on the readings themselves, as this information can be found through the ARE or online, and I will leave a link to the ARE below in the information. For me, the issue is identifying the stones, as some of the names today are not consistent with the time Cayce gave the readings. So I am going to give you my years of research and experiments with each of the stones. Fortunately, I'm a 0-degree Scorpio who takes nothing for granted, so I test everything myself to ensure its accuracy with my own spiritual experiences, and I'll be happy to share these with you today. Before we start with Cayce's Lapis, I want to encourage you that if you are buying these stones for their spiritual benefits, buy the loose stones, and if you wish to have jewelry from the lapis, find a good lapidary near you and have them cut the stones into jewelry pieces for you. It's also much harder to fake loose stones than it is to fake jeweled stones. Also, the loose stones are usually much cheaper and much easier to identify their authenticity. It's much more challenging to fake a loose stone than it is a jeweled piece of jewelry. With that said, let's start with the lapis lazuli. Now, I apologize for some of these pictures. I took these with my cell phone, so the quality is not great, but it should be enough to help you identify which lapis piece is which. Lapis lazuli, in my experience, has even more benefits than Cayce described in his readings. If you can't get a stone that is based off your ascendant, which is ideal, the lapis lazuli certainly would be the stone I would recommend for most people. Even if you don't wear it in the day, you can always sleep with the stone under your pillow or something at night. It's extremely beneficial. Here is a picture of two pieces of lapis lazuli to start with. A few things I want to point out about identifying real lapis lazuli. And again, I never recommend buying treated, polished, dyed, or lab created gemstones. If I am wanting the spiritual benefits of the stones, I want them natural. And no two pieces of real lapis lazuli jewelry ever appear the same. Probably the best way to describe it is imagine looking at the night sky and then turn 30 degrees and look again. This is similar to looking at real lapis lazuli jewelry. Notice the milky white matrix swirled beneath the blue lazurite crystals. The small and random amounts of gold-colored pyrite. Each piece should look unique and different with these various combinations. And I've seen people listing lapis lazuli online, and sometimes it's merely dyed sodalite with sprinkled golden flakes glued to it. And it does not have the milky colored calcite and mica matrix beneath the blue layered levels of lazurite crystals. If you don't see it, don't buy it. If there are too many pyrite golden flakes and they appear sprinkled on, also wouldn't recommend you buy it. It's likely enhanced. Again, look closely at the two real pieces of lapis in the image and notice the subtle differences. If you need to, pause the video, take a screenshot, and enlarge it so you can get a better view, and this will help you identify what real lapis should look like. Real lapis comes from Afghanistan and is very heavy with its mica and calcite matrix. I would recommend buying it loose, once again, uncut, and once again, you can always have it created into jewelry once you know the stone itself is real, if you want the benefits of the stone as identified in the Cayce readings. Now we're going to move on to Lapis ligurius. And again, I'll put the name on the screen for you just in case I'm not pronouncing it correctly. My cell phone does not take the greatest of photos, but I wanted to use my own stones as I know they're real, and this will probably benefit you a little bit when you yourself are looking to purchase one of these stones online. Now, it's a multiple and most beautiful green colored result from the disintegrating copper. The modern name for it today is malachite. The beautiful swirls of green underlie a darker green, almost velvety appearance. This stone is also very heavy, as the copper matrix to some degree is still intact. As malachite is often faked or lab created, I would recommend buying the stone as you see it and having your own jeweler create it as you desire for a piece if you want to wear it on your finger or your neck. Again, I want to stress, if you're looking for the spiritual benefits of the stone, don't get lab created, don't get them dyed, don't get them enhanced, and no heat treatments. You want the natural stone. In addition, if you are from the Western Hemisphere, only buy from locations that malachite comes from your hemisphere. So, for instance, I'm in the States, so I purchased these stones from mines in Arizona, copper mines in Arizona. And if you're in the East, of course, you want to buy the malachite that forms in the East. And the reason for this, once again, is the mountain ranges in the West run north to south, and the mountain ranges in the East run east to west. So depending on which side you were born, you want to try to get a malachite piece from your hemisphere. In my experience with the gemstones, the lapis ligurius works exactly as Cayce described it. In addition, it adds a wonderful layer of Venus protection to the wearer. It's well worth the effort to obtain an original stone and make a beautiful piece of jewelry from it. And you can actually wear this stone every day along with the lapis lazuli. Now we're going to get into the hardest enigma of the Cayce readings on the lapis, and that is the lapis linguis. And this took me quite a while to crack. In case I am not pronouncing it correctly, once again, I'll leave the name on the screen for you. All this information I'm going to provide are from my own experiences testing various pieces and the results I came up with. Today, lapis linguis is most commonly referred to as azurite. These are degraded copper-based reactions to the universal energies that come in various forms from the copper mines. Now, again, this makes your birth location very important. If you're from the East, you want to get a piece of azurite from the East. If you're from the West, you want to get a piece of azurite from the West, as the copper mines will come from the mountain ranges that run according to the location of your birth. Now, there's still a number of old copper mines that people will venture into to get a few specimens of azurite to sell online. Most are not sure exactly how to use the azurite, but they do know people will pay money for them. So on occasion, you'll see a really nice piece of azurite on eBay. Now, the three forms of azurite or lapis linguis that I've found that works exactly as Cayce described are, and I'll put them on the screen for you, the copper matrix and the blue nodules, the copper matrix and the black crystals, the copper matrix and the blue crystals. So again, if you need to pause the video, take a screenshot to enlarge it if necessary so you can kind of get an idea of what you're looking at. These pictures aren't great. I took them with my cell phone, but once again, this will kind of give you a very rough idea of what you're looking for to be specific. Now, they are kind of difficult to find on eBay, and some people often do mislabel these, so kind of be careful and make sure you know what you're buying. Now, one thing to take into consideration when you're using the azurite that was not listed in the readings is this is a copper-based crystal. So this is a Venus energy. You really want to track the Venus location when you're using this because azurite is not something you can use on a daily basis, and this is not something you want around your body on a daily basis. At most, throughout the month, maybe 3 days. And there's one exception to that. I'll go over that with you. If Venus is the farthest from the sun and most illuminated, assuming it is not hindered by the moon or Saturn, that is a good day to use it. The second ideal day to use it is when Venus is in retrograde and it's between the sun and the earth. The sun really enhances the Venus in this scenario and it gives a real boost to the stone. Now remember, Venus can be on the other side of the sun as well, not retrograde. It'll appear conjoined, and that is when you don't want to use the stone. So I would, for the most part, keep the stone away from you when you're sleeping. Only use it maybe 3 days a month at most. And hopefully these images will kind of give you an idea of what you're looking for, because these are the stones that, using them, I had the exact effects as Cayce described. So this will give you a really good idea when you're buying your azurite online. And I wish to send much love to Edgar Cayce's spirit for his great work here on Earth. I have been studying his readings for nearly 40 years. And I would also love to encourage you to check out Edgar Cayce at the ARE online. I'll leave the link below. And please feel free to leave your comments as well. And best wishes in your spiritual journeys. And as always, love and light to you.